Hello, everyone. Welcome back to E20 Zone TV, the place to be for all your West Ham up-to-date content. I'm lying. Go somewhere else. Don't be here. Do you know what I'm saying? To my right is Lucas. You know who he is, the American sensation. Lucas, how are you doing, mate?
I'm good. Day off. Been spending it watching one of the best sporting events of the year, the Masters. It's been a decent start so far. Hopefully, Colin Morikawa bring home the bread, son. And a special happy heavenly birthday to Peach, aka West Ham Random. It has been some time now that he hasn't been with us, but we are always thinking about him, and we miss you down here, son.
Yeah, shout out to Peach wherever you are, mate. We're all with you. Rumour has it, show, son. West Ham like to go for shit, and we are shopping at Southampton all of a sudden. What do you make of the rumour that's come out today that West Ham are going to be shopping at Southampton this summer and going for Harwood-Bellis, Dibling, Carl Walker-Peters, and the worst one of all, the fucking relegator, Ramsdale.
I personally am not too. I don't mind targeting Southampton because I do think they have some decent assets. And again, really, we are trying to squad build. And again, I am kind of sick of trying to drop like £100 million on 3 players in 3 positions when really we do need a bit more than that. And
Yeah,
I really want us to try and get players that fit the way we're going to play instead of just bringing in quality and hopefully they fit the system. So again, we'll never truly know until they come to West Ham, they get the minutes and see if they work. But three out of the 4, in my opinion, I would definitely take. I'm definitely open to other people's thoughts, especially any Southampton supporters that may tune in, give us their opinion or whatnot. But in my opinion, I think 3 of these 4 signings would fit the way Graham Potter wants to play. And I'm reluctant to say they'll be good because, again, we're going to have to see how they play under Potter. But I think they would fit the way we want to play, and hopefully they would come good.
not for me. Not for me. I do not understand the Ramsdale link. Just don't get that one. Why are we going to go and pay £20 million out for this geezer when he just relegates?
Spoiler alert, that's the one that I think most of us do not want, especially myself.
Honestly, mate, I don't get it. I don't get it. There's fucking James Trafford up in Burnley, who's a better goalkeeper. He's got more to offer than Ramsdale, but people go, oh, yeah, we're going to get Ramsdale. I think that's an embarrassing signing. I think the Carl Walker-Peters sign's a good signing for a free transfer. I will be honest. I think that's a good signing. He's an ex-Tottenham player. He went to Southampton. He hasn't really. He's had a good sort of few years with them. He's a better player than Southampton, so I can understand that one. I get that one. Do you know what I'm saying? I look at the Dibling one. Looks a good up and coming player, but we don't know how good he is, and we don't know how much he's gonna cost. Like Southampton were quoted as saying they want 100 million for him. They ain't getting 100 million for this geezer. So how far do you go with him? Do you know what I'm saying? And Harwood-Bellis is a sort of player that you bring into a side when you've just been promoted and you want to be mid-table. If this is what we've become, a mid-table side, then it sickens me. It really does, Lucas. I'm not gonna lie.
No, I mean, but this is the thing, though. I think people need to kind of think about these signings. Like, I'm not, and again, I can only speak for myself. Necessarily, I don't want Taylor Harwood-Bellis to come in and like start right away. But when you break it down and you think rationally a bit,
Right.
again, I know like we're always going to disagree on the way that Potter's going to play in the future going forward. And again, we're not going to know until we see it. But if he sticks with a 3-back, 5-back, Harwood-Bellis is going to be a good signing because he's used to playing that way. Russell Martin and Graham Potter do not play too far of different football. I think Russell Martin is way more boring, way more possession. But Harwood-Bellis fits the way that Potter wants to play a bit. But again, not my favorite type of center half because he's not great in the air, but he possesses the ball well, passes the ball well for a center half. And like with Ramsdale, the goalkeeping situation is completely
It's
but it's
laziness,
tricky
mate.
in my opinion.
Lucas,
It's not. It's not. You got to think. You got to think about it, right?
Go on.
You bring forward James Trafford, right? James Trafford, very good shot stopper, young,
Right.
poised for England. He's probably going to play for England for the next 15 years. He looks good, but he's not very good with the ball at his feet. Can he become good with the ball at his feet? Absolutely.
He's 22 though, mate.
I get that, but with Ramsdale,
right,
he's horrendous in the shot stopping category. But I do not like him as much as the next guy. I think he's shit, but he is decent with the ball at his feet. And then that's when you got to scale what you think is more important for Graham Potter. And for me, again, it's all opinion. I would rather take a shot stopper and goal all day long over someone that can hit a ball long
let me ask you
play
something.
the ball at their feet.
Right, let me ask you something. Who do you rather have right now, Ramsdale or Areola? Honestly.
In my opinion, I still think Areola just edges it slightly.
Areola pisses over Ramsdale.
I wouldn't say pisses, but the way that Graham Potter wants to play, I could see why either him or some people would probably want Ramsdale over Areola. And again, Areola has not covered himself in glory at all the past year and a half. Some argue too. But like, again, it's all about what Potter wants at the end of the day. And if you ask me who's better with the ball at their feet and distributing the ball, Ramsdale's way better than Areola and Fabianski. But in terms of shot stopping, I'm picking those two over him. So again, it's a weird one.
I'm going to be honest. Yeah, this is the fear I've got. I've got this fear, ladies and gentlemen. Right, it scares the shit out of me every single time. And now Sullivan's in control of transfers. These transfers look ideal for him. Yeah, they look ideal. The Ramsdale one it's either a lazy link or it's West Ham being lazy in the market. Yeah, and not looking out for a decent up-and-coming goalkeeper. Aaron Ramsdale, and I posted something last night, and I had some wanker on Twitter, right? Shout out to Darren fucking Harry, or whatever his fucking name is, aka Troll, cunt. Turning around, and I see Joey Barton basically saying about fucking Ramsdale's the relegator. Yeah, he is the relegator. Yeah, facts don't lie. The man fucking everywhere he goes, he gets relegated. He got relegated at Sheffield United. He got relegated at fucking Southampton.
It's not all his fault. I mean, the clubs he's played for have been quite shit.
Fucking hell, what you're saying? Roger Johnson back in the day wasn't his fault. Like he was shit. He was named AKA the relegator, right? Do we need a Roberto in goal again? That's the real question.
No, I totally agree. I agree with mostly what everyone thinks on Ramsdale. Yeah. I would not take him, especially for £20 million. But again, you got to weigh up the bad and good. Like again, it's a weird situation because even Richard just mentioned it. Why are we spending a fortune on a goalkeeper? Mate, if we go after Trafford, he's going to cost a fortune. And again, he's not great with the ball at his feet. Good shot stopper. But he's young. Right. Ramsdale, no matter what people say, he's good with the ball at his feet. But he is a terrible shot stopper. And he has the same, like, just what the fuck moments is Areola, Roberto, sometimes Fabianski. So
£20 million for this geezer we're paying.
I agree. Mate, if you ask me to roll out Fabianski or Ramsdale next season, if we got rid of Areola, I'm rolling out Fabianski 9 out of 10 times, personally speaking. But again, if we're gonna play out of the back, possess the ball, hit it long, Ramsdale might be the guy. I will not like it personally, and I won't agree. But again, if that's what Potter wants, it is what it is to me. I won't enjoy it.
I feel it's laziness from West Ham on this one, and if we do go for Ramsdale, that feels like to me that it's you're just looking for a goalkeeper, and you've just gone and raided a fucking relegated side for a goalkeeper. That's what it feels like to me. Like we all know that Fabianski's getting on, and he ain't going to be here forever, right? And he's going to go probably this summer. We all know Areola. If you're going to play at the back, he's not the guy. Yeah, we all know that as West Ham fans. If you don't, you're fucking deluded. Right? and we are shit at the minute, yeah. And we next season, who thinks that he's going to be sort of marshalling the defence? Like when you need a goalkeeper, you need a goalkeeper to come in and be your last line of defence, someone who you can rely on. I can't rely on Ramsdale,
That's
mate. I really can't.
that's the thing. And Richard, spot on again, in my opinion. I think if we want to go out and look for someone that can distribute the ball,
Right.
in my opinion, I think you can find someone better than Ramsdale for half the price if you really look out there. So it could be laziness, but I don't know. Again, I never think about what I want. I'm trying to think about what Graham Potter wants. So, like, again, I don't know what Graham Potter wants. The only thing I am confident in is that he does want a goalkeeper that can play with the ball at his feet and make saves. And all I know is Ramsdale, Fabianski, and Areola can only do one of two things.
Yeah. Before we move on from him, because he irritates me. He simply does. I didn't like him at Arsenal. I thought he was an arrogant cunt. And I don't like him in general, Ramsdale. I think he's shit, right? So if we go for him, I'm going to be disgusted, right? I am going to be disgusted. But whose fault's that going to be? Sullivan or Potter, whoever it is. I don't want that prick here. I just don't want him here.
All the other three, I would take, and I think they'd be sensible signings, obviously depending on the price.
The next one, Arwa Bellis. I'm not convinced. I'm not because we need defenders who are better than Todibo and Kilman. Is he better than them two? I don't think he is, if I'm being honest.
So it depends on what formation we're going to play.
Well, what formation do you see us playing next year? Because he's rotating it and consistently rotating it.
I think if I had to bet today and wait to cash out next season, I would say we're going to play a 3 or 5 back.
Well, if he plans to go with a 3 at the back, is Harwood Bellis a player that you can rely on? I don't like. When I look at West Ham, I think we need someone who's better than that. Like,
yeah, but that's the thing. We don't know though if we bring him in, if he's gonna. This is my thing. I think we're gonna bring him in. He's not guaranteed to start, but if he does end up starting, I think he will probably deserve to, and I think you can trust him. Do I think there's better players than him that fit the mold that we're looking for? Absolutely. But again, we're trying to squad build, not fill the squad, if that makes sense.
But is there's squad building, but you've got to buy quality, not quantity. Like, do you know what I mean? You can't go out and just fill it with shit. And
I think Harwood Bellis is quality to a point. He's showing it, in my opinion. And again, can you really I don't think you can judge too many players at Southampton, because when you're surrounded by shit, you're most likely to look like shit as well.
Oh, it's near enough half their fucking team, mate. Like we've got 4 of their players, 4 of their best players that we're looking at, right? And
like Dibling is, as far as I've seen, their best player that I've watched. And again, he probably isn't their best player, but from what I've seen, he's the one that stands out more than most.
Well, I would say Kyle Walker-Peters for me. I think Dibling's done okay, but he's a young lad.
Yeah, but you can make the same excuse with Ramsdale.
Right.
Is that Kyle Walker-Peters plays in one of the worst sides the Premier League has ever seen, and he's part of one of the worst defenses ever.
So maybe.
Again, it's a team sport. It's all a collective, and you really have got to do a lot to really outshine the shit. You can rarely polish a turd.
Shout out to Harry. Yeah. Harwood Bellis as our backup centre back instead of Mav is such a good option. He's solid on the ball. But can he defend? I'm not being funny. I keep hearing this all the time. Yeah, they're fucking good on the ball, but can these fuckers defend? Like, because that's what we need. We need defenders first before we have like ball playing centre halves. Do you know what I mean?
I'm telling you, mate. But that's the issue though with people's thinking. Like, people make it sound so easy that we can go out and get someone that's good on the ball, good at defending, good in the air. It's not that easy. You're gonna have to take a loss somewhere. You're literally betting on these players. There's gonna be risk somewhere.
Well, I think we need defenders before anything. I think we need people who know how to defend, because like as we've known over the last year or 18 months, is West Ham love to concede goals. Yeah, they love to concede goals, and that's all we fucking do is concede goals. So we've got to get a defender in there first who knows how to defend first and then learn later. Do you know what
But
I mean?
no, I disagree. Depending on the way we play, because again, we've debated about it 1,000
Mm,
times. I think Potter's going to play in a back five, back three. You think he should move on with a four? We concede loads in a four, but we don't create in a five. So
yeah.
again, we can't have it both ways. Like there's got to be you got to take a loss somewhere, unless you want to pay 80 million pound for one of the best defenders in the world that can do everything. It's going to cost.
I look at Harwood Bellis as a young up and coming player, right? When West Ham was in a sort of moment a few years ago, I thought, yeah, he looks a decent player. He was at Burnley, he done okay. Then he went to Southampton. Do I really want him to come in and be a centre half at West Ham? I think we need better. Right, and that's not me being rude to the kid, but I think there's a standard that we need to set. And
So
West Ham
are
should
you
be looking
talking
at.
about in terms of depth or starting? That's the thing, because I think
Well,
he'd be a great bench option, but to
well,
start, I think they're you could find a bit better.
well. You look at it this way, right? If we have an injury, can you trust this geezer to come in and do
He's
a
better
job for
than
West Ham?
Mavropanos, so yes.
All right, he's better than Mavropanos, but fucking a lot of other players are better than Mavropanos, mate. So that doesn't justify it, does it? Do you get what I'm saying? Like, we could go out, or I could go on my fucking black book and look at and try and find 10 defenders in the Premier League that West Ham could go and get. You know what I mean? And they would all be better than Mav. Do you know what I'm saying? So Harwood Belly's being better than Mav, it doesn't prove nothing. For me, is he gonna make us better? Or is he just gonna keep us the same? That's the real question. Is it that?
If
And I'll ask that to the chat and all.
I mean, if Potter envisions still playing a back five, possessing the ball, and trying to
Yeah.
create more and build up from the back, yes, I think he will make us better. But I think you can find a little bit better, but it's going to cost. Like for me, if it was me, I would want to find someone who's good on the ball and good in the air, because right now we really don't have a defender that's solid defensively or good in the air. Like Mavropanos is our best aerial threat, but he's not reliable defensively. He's really not that great with the ball at his feet either. So again, that's what I'm trying to emphasize here. We can't have it all unless we're willing to pay a lot of dough. So for me, Harwood Bellis ticks like 1.5 out of 3 boxes. He's good with the ball. He's good with the ball at his feet. He's not great in the air.
Yeah.
He's all right defensively. I'm looking at the FBref right now. Defensively, his numbers don't look that great, but in terms of the ball at his feet and his passing and all that, he looks brilliant. But again, if you want better, you're gonna have to pay for
it. How much would you stretch to for him then?
I think it was rumored like 15 to 20 million.
Yeah.
Last time I checked. I'll be honest, I think 20 million, if they're asking for that, that's fair. Because, I mean, England under 21, he's in the England system. He's been doing good for them. I think 20 is fair. I'd feel comfortable with 20 million, but really nothing more.
See that. This is a great comment I've just got here from Bill. Shout out to Bill. I think signing Harwood Bellis blocks Casey's path into the first team.
We can't. But that's not. If we're trying to turn the ship around personally and trying to get back to Europe, I'm not thinking about that. That's just my opinion. If we're thinking mid-table rebuild, sure, I get that comment.
But what is it then going to be next year then? Because I believe what you just said is exactly what it's going to be. It's going to be a mid-table rebuild, and then I don't think it'd be next season West Ham be competing for Europe. I think it'd be the season after, as long as Potter doesn't fuck it up next year. That's what I've got the feeling. I'll be very shocked. I'll be happy, but I'll be very, very shocked if West Ham compete and get Europe next year.
I think the mission throughout the dressing room will be to compete for Europe. I think that'll always be it. But again, from a fan's perspective, I think we got to be more realistic than the players and the management, in my opinion. Like I want my squad that's going out there to believe that they're the best in the world. You have to have that mentality to be successful, even if it's delusional. You have to have it. But as a fan, as a supporter, you got to temper them a little bit. So it is what it is.
For me, I'm going to be straight when I say this, right? If we go down the path of raiding Southampton, then I fucking worried. I'm going to be straight. I am concerned, yeah, because I know what we're like. Yeah, we go cheap and we go cheap too fucking often, and that's where the problem lies. For me, if we're spending 20 million on with Bellis, then I don't get what we're trying to achieve. I really don't. Right, let's talk about Dibling. Um, Rated at 100 mil. What are you saying about him? Because I think he would be a good signing, but is he another like Luis Guilherme that we don't know what we're going to get with this kid?
I mean, you could make that argument, but I don't know. I wouldn't say he plays routinely, but in my opinion, when Tyler Dibling plays, and again, I'm not going to act like I've seen him play a million times. I've probably seen him play 3 or 4 times, and I've liked what I've seen. And funny enough, there's a video that came out today with Russell Martin that he was playing Dibling out of position as well because he needed someone to play on the wing, and that's where he's been playing. Apparently, he's more of a 8 and a 10. So the performances he's been putting in have been, you could probably say, a bit more impressive because he's playing out of position. But again, they're practically doing the same thing as what that we kind of did for Rice. We said 150 million, got 100. So Southampton they're just trying to save face. I mean, 100 mil and then go from there. Like, I don't think he's worth more than at this stage, like 30 million pound. But again, I'm not an expert on value or anything. I can only go on my opinion. But I think Tyler Dibling would be, again, it all depends on what we're going to play going forward. If we're going to play a 3-4-2-1 in that like box midfield with two 10s and 2 8s, Dibling, in my opinion, fits that. So, but again, I don't know how much he's worth or what I'd pay for him. But he'd be good. He'd be good for squad building.
I just don't think he's what we need. If you want me to be honest, I think we need like someone who's ready to rock and roll now. Like, because look at the wingers we've got: Bowen, Kudus, Guilherme, Somerville. Well, Kudus is going to be at the door, so we're going to need someone who's going to come in and hit the ground running straight away. Yeah, so I don't know about this kid. I don't know. I haven't seen enough of him. Right, I've seen bits of him, and people start. You know what people are like, Lucas? They turn into fucking twats. Some of them, where they turn around and go, "Oh wow, he looks amazing. He looks fucking great." And then he, like, as Kane said in the chat, people say he's fucking lazy and he doesn't get back and he doesn't do enough. So obviously, there's better, right? There's better out there, and I think West Ham need to attack this properly in the summer. So. For me, if West Ham was to go and get him for 30 mil, okay, fair enough. 40 mil, I think, is pushing it. 50 mil's taking the piss, I think, for a player that we don't know. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Again, it's all tricky because, like JBK9 here puts in the chat, he's talking about McAtee from City. I really rate McAtee. I think he's brilliant. But again, if you're dealing with City and Pep really likes him, that's someone I would love to go after in terms of young. I wouldn't say he's proven yet, but he looks good every time he plays for City. And of course, because he's got a world-class side around him. But again, like, that's the difference you're talking about in terms of quality. Like, say Dibling is 30 million. They're probably going to ask for 70 mil, 60 mil for McAtee. So, and again, he fits exactly, in my opinion, what Potter wants to do if he goes with a 3-4-2-1.
So let me ask you this, yeah? And shout out to the chat, shout out to Nick in the chat and a few others, yeah? Right, 100 million for Dibling, Ramsdale, and Harwood Bellis. Are you paying it? Right. No. So break that down to me then, because obviously Carl Walker-Peters is a free transfer, right? So break down that free and how much you would pay.
Okay. Well, as we all know, Kyle Walker-Peters, free transfer, but not necessarily free. It's going to cost probably, his signing on fee will probably be around 10, 15 million, I'd suppose, maybe more. I don't know. Those can be crazy.
Yeah.
So just for the sake of argument, free transfer is a free transfer. Harwood Bellis, at most, I'd probably go 20.
Right.
Maybe 25 if Potter really fancies him. But for me personally, 20.
Right.
Dibling, 19 years old. He's been decent in Southampton. Again, another U21. I'd probably say it tops 30. And then Ramsdale. I genuinely don't know what Ramsdale is worth. I mean, they're saying 20 million, but I wouldn't spend 10 on him.
I won't give you 20 quid for this cunt. I really
So
wouldn't. I
I'll
really
meet
wouldn't. He's shit.
in the middle and be fair, I guess. I'd say 15, but I really wouldn't spend money on him. So we're far off.
Yeah, like I'm not being funny, right? What I'm seeing is people saying 20, 20, and 60. Right, Tyler's going to be worth about 60 mil, I reckon. Yeah, maybe about 50, between 50 and 60 mil, right, in that bracket, so to speak. Yeah?
And again, if you're going to drop 60 million pound, I'd rather go for McAtee than Dibling.
I don't know, mate. I don't know. Like at the end of the day, right, I don't think we should even be touching any Southampton player because what people are saying in the chat and shout to what Nick said in the chat, I make him 100% right. And this one, it's one of the worst teams in Premier League history, and we're going in there and we're trying to raid for their plucking players. Do you know what I mean?
Depends though on the mission. If we're trying to fill out the squad with a bit of quality, not necessarily them starting off the rip next season,
right.
I'm in for it. But if we're going out trying to get Kyle Walker-Peters, Harwood Bellis, Ramsdale, and Dibling, and trying to have 3 out of those 4 starting, hypothetically, we're cooked.
Yeah, well, you know, I don't know. I don't know.
My ideal situation is that we sign Kyle Walker-Peters to probably start. I think he's definitely good enough to start.
Right.
Harwood Bellis he would be an in between. We would have to see him in the summer and preseason to see if he's good enough. But let's say just for quality on the bench, because if we're going to play with 3 center halves, we're going to have 5 in terms of depth. If we're going to go to a 4 back, I think 4 will be enough. You know what I mean? So that's dependent there. And then Dibling, he's not good enough to start for West Ham right now, but he could be, obviously, but that's in the future. And Ramsdale, absolutely not for me.
What do you say when people say, because I just see something in the chat there, and I see a couple of wankers in the chat there, so behave your fucking selves or you'll be banned and all. Right, because I'm not in the fucking mood tonight. Right, I'm witnessing Aaron Ramsdale coming to my club. So any wanker in the chat who starts dissing other people will be banned from this fucking channel. Mark my words on that. What do you make of people saying that these are Sullivan signings? Because they do feel like it to me. It really does.
Which ones?
Well, Ramsdale's definitely fucking a Sullivan. I don't think Macaulay's sitting there going, right, we're a goalkeeper. Let's go for the fucking relegator. I know that for certain. That's a Sullivan one straight away. Kyle Walker-Peters has been mentioned with him all the time. So that's another one who Sullivan's probably been looking at. Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure who his agent is. Obviously, the Dibling one, I'm about 90% sure that ain't going to fucking happen. And then the Harwood Bellis one, I think it's an agent again of Sullivan. I'm sure he's under fucking his favourite agent.
I don't know. The whole Sullivan thing is it's vague and subjective. Like, I think Harwood Bellis is decent. I think Kyle Walker-Peters is decent. If Sullivan signs him, I'll be happy personally. I would like that. So I'm not going to be negative about it. But Ramsdale, I don't know. That's a bit of a tricky one because, again, he does split opinion in my view. Like, some people would probably rate the signing for £20 million or be like, that's a steal. That's a bargain. As some would say, absolutely fucking not. So if I had to pick one of those, I think Ramsdale would definitely be more of the Sullivan signing because he likes to play the stocks. He sees Areola's stock is very down. Fabianski's old. Like, who can I get in for cheap that has some sort of decent reputation? Because no matter how shit you think Ramsdale is, he's played for England, he's played for Arsenal. Like, his reputation and his CV is okay.
Yeah.
Obviously, he is a bit of a relegator, but it is what it is.
Fabianski was relegated, but Fabianski wasn't relegated 3 fucking times, was he? Do you know what I mean? Once I can accept, twice I can go, you know what, bit iffy, but okay. 3 times a lady, no. Let's not take the piss here. Do you know what I mean? So it is what it is. How do you see it going, mate, with this? Honestly, final words from you.
Again, if we all know we're not bringing in a director of football or whatever
Yeah.
that shit is. We're not bringing it in. Sullivan's going to be in negotiations again. But
I'll tell you what. I'm going to ask you something. Are you nervous about Sullivan in control here? Because I
am. I mean, I'd be lying if I said I'm not, but I think this summer will be a bit different. I'm not going to say it's going to be completely different, because then that'd be me getting my hopes up, because Sullivan is in charge. But I don't know. I feel like something's going to be different with Potter and McCauley being here. And again, I just think Graham Potter, with the type of guy he is, he wouldn't have come to West Ham if he, in my opinion, I think he can smell bullshit from a mile away. I think he's that type of guy. And I think if he wanted a paycheck, he would have went to Ajax. I think he genuinely believes in something here. And I think the summer will be a bit different. So I think I have faith, but I completely understand, and it's hard to rebuttal people that do not. Like you said weeks ago when we were arguing about the formation, right? I said the one thought that I thought was valid for you was just being nervous about the summer and bringing in players that are going to be right for us. I think that's always valid. So again, I don't detest that opinion.
My final thought is on this is basically keep Aaron Ramsdale away from this fucking club. Yeah, if you care about this club, you should be saying, no, we don't want him, we want better. Yeah, there is better players out there. Yeah, spend some money. Yeah, I mean, people keep raving about Sullivan all of a sudden, yeah. And I see it today on Twitter, right? And I've got to get off Twitter because it's full of fucking wankers, right? But there's people going, oh, Sullivan spent money. Yeah, he has to spend some fucking more, the little prick, right? Because at the end of the day, if you have Aaron Ramsdale there, we're going to fucking struggle, mate. Because he's a liability. Yeah, he's a liability. And we can't have a Roberto 2.0. We really can't. Right? We can't go down this road with having shit goalkeepers. Yeah, we've learnt our lesson from that. And Roberto nearly relegated us. Right, let's have it right. If it wasn't for fucking David Martin, right, fucking saving the day for us, we would have been fucking down with Roberto in goal. So we can't have Ramsdale. Kyle Walker-Peters, I'm all for. I think he's a very good player. I think he'd be better with us. Good free transfer for me. Harwood Bellis, 20 mil for this kid. I'm going to be straight. I'm not on it. I'm not on it. Yeah. Like, surely there's got to be better out there than Harwood Bellis at West Ham United. Right. And when people turn around and say, well, he's better than Mavropanos, I could name about 100 people better than Mavropanos who are probably at the same price. So, that means nothing.
Again, with Harwood Bellis for £20 million, I would take him as a bench option with potential that he's good enough to start. 20 million to start, jury's out. But again, if you're looking for someone that can play with the ball at their feet, solid defensively, and is good in the air, we're talking £50 million bare minimum.
Yeah, well, and obviously Dibling, I don't think will happen. I'll be very shocked if it happened. But is he really what we need? Would you say he's what we need really right now?
The profile and the type of player that I think, if we were to continue with the 3-4-2-1, I do think he is the type of player we need. But do I think he's good enough to start?
Yeah,
and he's worth the money. I really don't know. Even with James McAtee, that would be a decent discussion. Is he good enough to start for West Ham? Let's say tomorrow. Who knows? Because he plays with so much quality around him, and he's very highly rated. But that doesn't necessarily. I want to see what he can do with mediocre people around him, because those are the best types of players that lift others.
To a point.
So again, it's. I think nowadays, as much as the transfer market and the evaluations of players is absolutely fucked, there is a bit of truth within them. Like, again, Harwood Bellis, £20 million. Some people say it's a bit too much, but if you want better than that, you are gonna have to pay.
Well, I don't know what's going on around my way, but I got about 6 Celtic fans walking down the streets. I don't know what's happening
Like,
there. You know what I mean?
like
Go on.
even like Branthwaite, right?
Right.
In my opinion, he's one of the best center halves in the league right now in terms of just as an individual. He does about everything. Real Madrid have been rumored to get him. He's going to cost around 70, 80 mil. And some people will probably say, oh, he's not that great. He's overrated. So, again, it's mental.
It is, but I just we need to see what they're going to do. I honestly, I ain't going to be best pleased if they go after Ramsdale though. I think Ramsdale's the one really that it will grind into me. Trust me, don't be here for the fucking meltdown because I will literally lose it.
That will be annoying, but I'll be honest, I'd be just as annoyed if we pay £100 million for Walker Peters, Harwood Bellis, and Dibling. I think that would piss me off more than signing Ramsdale.
Yeah, I'm going to be honest. They must see Sullivan coming. Before we make a move, I want to get your thoughts on Delap. I done a video yesterday. I gave my thoughts on it. What do you make of Delap for you?
I've always, and again, this season I'm just talking. I've liked what I've seen. I like the type of player and striker that he is. I just don't know if he fits the way that we want to play.
Right.
That's always been my opinion. And again, I'm trying to think about what Graham Potter would want and do, not myself. If it was me making the decisions, yes, you try and get Liam Delap in. But thinking about the way we want to play and the system and all that, I'm not sure if he fits the way we want to play. I think he would be worth the risk for sure to get. And if it doesn't pan out, fuck it. But yeah, if it was me, I'd bring him in and then hopefully he fits the system.
Right.
And can turn things around for us.
Let me ask you this before we wrap it up. David or Delap?
Delap.
Yeah. And even I'm saying that. I would literally, I think Delap is an absolute bargain at 30 mil. I think West Ham are the sort of side that you can he can get better with, right? I think if he goes to Manchester United or Chelsea or someone like that, I just don't see how it works. Yeah, because they will get on his back when he ain't performing. I don't think you can't go from Ipswich Town to Chelsea and then be a top level centre forward for me.
I don't, and I'll tell you this right now, nothing pisses me off more than being a stepping stone club,
right.
An opportunist club.
Yeah.
But in my opinion, Liam Delap, say if we were to bring him in for £30 million and he has like a very good 2 seasons with us and then he wants to go somewhere else, I honestly wouldn't mind that. But with Jonathan David, if we got him on a free and we paid 20 million, maybe 30 in terms of
wages,
signing on and all that.
Yeah.
And he leaves us in two seasons, 3 seasons, I think I'd be more pissed off. And he probably and again, he doesn't have Premier League experience. Again, when you look at and again, highlights and compilations not everything, but the guy is a bit of a tap-in merchant. And I don't really see what else he offers. But again, I bring me Delap. I would definitely take Delap. I would probably 30 to 40 million, I think, would be fair. But again, we're competing with some big boys, so
I think West Ham can get him. I really do. I look at the other clubs and I think, is he going to step too far? And I hope people pull him back and say, West Ham's not a bad club to go to. Look at Bowen, look at Rice, look at all these players that West Ham have got over the years who have developed and gone on. Yeah. So I think Delap, it's not far from Ipswich to Stratford. It's one train, Liam. So if you fancy it, yeah, it's not a bad place to go.
I think we would be a good opportunity for him if he's looking for a bit of a stepping stone into the big boy territory. And like I said, I'm not normally in for that kind of stuff. That it normally pisses me off when people look at West Ham as an opportunist club or a stepping stone or a retirement home, albeit. I wouldn't mind that with Delap.
Nor would I really. It would hurt a little bit, but I would like to see him at the club. I think he's a very good player. He reminds me a lot of Dean Ashton. the way Dean Ashton sort of come on through Norwich, and then we signed him, and he just turned into a gem for us. And it was a shame about the injury. Lucas, thank you very much for coming on. I really do appreciate it, as always, mate. Any final words from you before we make a move?
Again, we just got to wait till the summer and see how things unfold with transfers, Potter, and everything. I know times are tough right now, and it's not fun to watch. Everything's a bit stale. There's a lot more questions than answers about right now, but in my opinion, in the summer, we will get some answers. And then obviously the first 5-10 matches of next season will definitely have some answers. So we can only find out when we find out. It's very hard to guess and speculate on this stuff.
Yeah. My final thought is this. Please, as I say, no Ramsdale. And I'll be sort of content. Yeah, I mean, if we go for Ramsdale, it tells me that we're gonna have a fucking shit season because he's a shit goalkeeper. But I'm gonna let you go. Go and enjoy the darts. Go and enjoy the golf. Go and enjoy life. Do you know what I mean? Don't worry about West Ham. And I will see you again in the next one.